everyone. I thought it would be a bit of fun to take one of these flowers each day for a little video series from this. This is Small Victories postcard book, but I did check and this page is exactly the same as the one in the book. It's just shrunk down a bit, so you could follow along with the book if you don't have the postcards. As this is quite near the end of the postcard book, when I get up here it's not going to be very nice to colour on, so I've just grabbed another Johanna Basford postcard book. This one I haven't done much in at all, and I'm going to pop it underneath the sort of lean on. Okay, and I do this with books as well. If I'm near the beginning or end of a book, I'll get a book of the same size and pop it underneath, and it just gives you that sort of cushion. Of course you could rip the postcard out and do it that way, but I'm leaving mine in the book because I want to do a little flip through when I'm done. Right, where should we start? Well, I've got my Polychromos pencils ready to go. I wanted something that I could sharpen easily. I'm just going to pop my light on because it's getting really dark, and just pick one to start with. This one's quite big. I think I'll start with this one. Let's pop it in the middle. Now, it's not a whole flower, you know, we can't see all of it, but we're going to do all of it that we can. I'm going to start in the middle. I always start in the middle. Do you start in the middle with flowers? Is it just me? And I'm just going to go for it. Burnt sienna I'm going to start with. I haven't got a plan. I haven't even decided what I'm doing beyond the centre. So just a little bit there. Where am I going to put my pencils there? And then this one. This is brown ochre. It's a bit blunt. Let's just get a sharpener. So I thought I probably will do each flower in a slightly different way or a slightly different colour. I had thought I might do each of them, sorry you can't see, with a different set of pencils, but that's going to confuse me as much as it might confuse you. So I changed my mind on that one. And we're going to use the green gold next. I've just done some flowers using this technique in the middle, and so I'm using it again because I enjoyed it. So you see I'm just going over what I've done and sort of bringing it around a bit. Oops. And then my final colour for the centre is going to be the Naples yellow, and we're just going to go over the whole thing, and also around that outside bit that we have left. White, I'm going to have to sharpen. I want to put quite a few layers down. It needs to be seen beyond the paper. When I did this page in my book, I did the background bit in black pen and it looked quite effective. But just to sort of say, you know, you could try that. I don't think I'm really in close enough. Is that better? Yeah. You know, you can do it, you don't have to do that. Now I'm going to pick a sort of colour for this flower. What sort of colour should we do? I could do purple, pink, blue. There's lots of blue. We've got lots of different layers and we've got lots of blues, so I think I'm going to do blue. I might start with my lightest blue and then work outwards getting darker, I think. I might change my mind, but I'm going to start with the lightest blue, like I said first. I'm just sharpening it. Oh, this is sky blue. So it's a really light blue. Oh, it was the right way around. There you go, sky blue. And these teeny petals, I would like them to be slightly darker nearer the centre, but I'm just going to colour them all in to start with, without doing very much apart from getting some colour down on the page, and then we'll have a think about making it a little bit darker on the centre. So I hope everyone's well. You may very well have already coloured this picture by now in your Small Victories. I mean, I finished my book quite quickly, quite a long time ago, being as such a little book and so inviting. I just wanted to get it done. So I'm putting some more layers near the middle, which you might be able to see. And then sort of just gently blending them out towards the edge a little bit. I'm going to get a darker pencil. I think I might get a really dark pencil, actually. Oops. This is the dark indigo. and just go around the edge, not too hard because I don't want it really dark, just a bit of shadow just sort of on and slightly beyond that black line that's around the centre. Yeah, it's a lovely little book. Yeah, I'm nearly finished this postcard book too. I don't know if that's done much apart from made the yellow look a bit green where I've gone over the line. Never mind, my pencil's a bit small to be honest. I could do with finding a new one out. I was speaking to my friend Mary this morning. This is light ultramarine. She on a messaging service. Again, I'm just going to put a light layer all over and then we'll make some bits darker. And she said she was going to treat herself to replacing a short pencil with a long one. And it is such a treat. I don't know if many of you agree, but when you've got a set like Polychromos, which is what she tends to use, you can buy the open stock replacements as they run out, and when they do, and you can put a new one in to replace it, it just feels like a treat having a nice new long pencil. Right, I'm just trying to make sure I've gone all the way to the edge. Now what I want to try and do is make it darker from here outwards. So I'm going to just sort of do another layer all the way around here to start with. I mean, this is quite a pale colour anyway still, so it's not going to look that dark. And then sort of blend it towards the edge. I put another layer between it and the edge, but not all the way to the edge. I'm just going over the edge here a bit where it looks a bit messy. I'm going to do the same again, just layering it up a little bit more. Yeah, I occasionally go through my box and swap out the ones that are too short, etc. Now I'm going to go grab the dark indigo again to go around the edge. This is my short one. It isn't that short yet. You know, can go a lot further than this and around the edge. I've noticed that my eyesight is getting quite bad again, in that my glasses prescription isn't too good, so I'm finding detailing quite tricky, but I'm going to do my best. The idea, what I'm trying to achieve, is to go just outside of the black line and put a little sort of shadowy layer. But I don't know if I've really done that. I think it's fine. Now, we've got these quite large petals and we've got these little teardrop shapes. Now I could treat them like raindrops, but because they're regular they don't really look like raindrops, so I'm going to go over those in a darker colour. So I think what I'm going to do is use the ultramarine, which I'm going to sharpen, to put a layer down on all of these petals, and then I'm going to darken up certain areas after, just the same as I've done before. But what I'm trying to explain very badly is I'm going to go over this bit as well. So I'm not going to worry about keeping that uncoloured. I'm going to colour that as well. On this page there's no leaves on any of these flowers. It really, to me, looks like it's all petals. You may not agree, you might think these are leaves, for example. I don't think they are. So I should have left this blunt. It would have been easier colouring this big area with a blunter pencil, but never mind. So there are no leaves, so we could colour a flower green if we wish to. I'll see how I go and what I decide. I mean, I could colour them all in different shades of blue, but I'm not going to do that. I think I'll run out of, I would have to use different pencil sets if I was going to do that, so I'd run out of blues, and even then I'd still probably run out of blues. So, I mean, I have a lot of pencil sets. I'm not trying to say I don't, but you know, some of them do have similar blues to each other. So I'm not going to do that. I think I am going to do each one a different colour. You know, we're going to run out of colours, but you know, this would be fairly light blue, so we could do a dark blue down here if necessary, if we want to use more blues. Sorry, I'm pointing to a bit you can't see. Or you know, do a sort of limey green and then a bluey green, or you know, there's lots of options. So it's just a matter of I'll decide as I go, really. And of course you don't have to do the same as me. You can just colour along and use your favourite colours, whatever you want to do. Right, so that's my first sort of scruffy attempt. I'm going to do this bit around here next. So I'm doing it this way because it's bumpy. It's quite difficult to get it right into the edge. So I'm concentrating on that first, and it looks messy, and that's absolutely fine. And then I'm going to spread that colour along there so it doesn't look so messy, hopefully. Like that. And what I'm doing now is I'm checking each of the petals to see if they're neat enough. You know, if I've missed it little bits, or you know, if it isn't particularly even, it's not going to be brilliantly even because that's not my intention. But I just don't want it looking really, really bad, sort of thing. Now I think yellow middles and blue flowers goes really well. I know some people always like a yellow middle. It is good, it's fun. You can do them in lots of different ways. You don't have to just do the same sort of yellow, you know, different shades of yellow, orangey yellow, browny yellow, just normal yellow, plain yellow, dotty yellow, you know, all sorts of things. But also you can do different colours. So if you look at flowers, you'll find that they're not always the same colour. I was looking at some flowers today, actually, as I was walking along the canal path, and I can't remember the name of them now at all, but they have a black centre, just a dot, with a little white ring around it, and then the flower is blue. So I could have done it like that, but no. And so there's that, and of course poppies, they have black centres. And what are those plants? What am I trying to think of? Sort of violets and polyanthus and primroses. They sort of have dark coloured or white centres. They don't really have yellow. You know, so all plants are different. So it's worth having a look. I've actually done a video quite a while ago now, actually, on how I coloured flower centres in Johanna Basford books, because I know a lot of people might have felt they needed some inspiration. In fact, it was where I started my videos, really. I'm going to do these, and I'm going to put a sort of darker bit here, and then sort of fade it top to middle like that. Yeah, some of my first videos were flower centres. Not like this, actually. Similar, but without that outliney bit. I just do them in different ways at the minute. Yeah, so I think I've got a playlist for flower centres, actually, just to sort of show you some different techniques. I think some people like to always do them the same, and if that's what you like, just go with it. You know, there's no rules. Do what, if it feels right for you, do it. And if you're happy with how it looks, even better. But I like to mix it up a little bit sometimes. Like on this flower here, for example, I might just do that centre the same colour as the rest of the flower. You know, I know some people really dislike doing it like that, but for me, that's what I like. So, you know. It's all different. Of course, if you're copying a flower, if you've got a book, you know, something like a Maria Trolle or Leila Dooley, where they copy flowers precisely, then you might want to copy the flower centre colours, you know. Going back to my dark indigo to do these, what I'm going to do is I don't want to do it too dark, but I'm going to do a sort of darker edge and a bit lighter in the middle like that on each one. I think, you know, it's been drawn on. It's a fictional flower, you know, made up. Let's just go with it and make a sort of feature of this little thing. I mean, as I say, it could be a raindrop and you could colour it as that, but there wouldn't be one on each petal like that. I have got a video as well on how to colour a water droplet. It was quite fun. Basically you have to put a bit of shadow under it, a bit of white pen, a bit of white pencil. It takes a bit of effort, but it can be well worth it. I can't remember what I did it on a page in Magical Jungle, that's right. So if you go to my main channel front page and Google water, I think you'll find it quite easily. I haven't got many videos on water or with the title of water. There we go. I am going to keep with this and do a line around the centre because that's what I've done on all the others. So I just want to be consistent with that. I'm wondering whether to do one on those. I think I might leave those. There we go. Now we've got our outside petals. We've got a cobalt blue, which I think will just work. It's in the similar types of colour. I need to sharpen it because there's a really teensy bit I need to get in. Oh no, yes. So arguing with myself there. I thought that might have been a bit of the, but no, it's a bit in there, so we'll just put that in there. Now, what I'm going to try to do is I'm actually going to do these petals slightly differently in that I'm going to try and fade them towards the tip, making this bit a bit darker to start with, rather than doing a layer all over and then just putting in some more layers after. I'm going to try and do it all in one go. I don't know why. This is quite a different sort of colour, isn't it, to the others? I thought it would be similar, it's not really. What's it, cobalt blue? I'm sure it'll be fine. Now I've got these dots around the edge of these petals, this particular petal. You could cover it with some white pen, make white dots, or cover it with some white pen so it sort of disappears and colour over it. I don't like doing that with Johanna's work. People do that with pictures. They find it looks a little bit more realistic if you don't have a black line, which is fair enough, but it takes a lot of time to colour over all the black lines. Some people paint over the page with something first. I know there are different ideas on what works, but I think that would give the page quite a texture, and colouring over it with pencil would be tricky. I tried it once. I printed a page out, I did an experiment, painted over it. I couldn't see any of the black lines at all, so I couldn't colour the picture because I couldn't see it. So that was a bit of a disaster. I don't know what paint I used, I've got no idea, because I'm not really I haven't got any paints. I don't know what I used. I have a feeling I might have used some gouache, which is probably a bad idea because it's not transparent. Maybe that's was my error. But anyway, there are people who have videos which show you how to do this. So go and find them and use the right materials if you want to have a try. Don't do what I did and have a guess. It doesn't work. But I would also advise doing it on a test page. Now, if you don't have a printer, you can still test it out by putting some black writing on a page, or scribble, anything, and then putting the colour over it. And you need to just make sure that it's the right thickness so that you can still see the lines enough to be able to sort of use them as your guide without, but you can sort of colour over them and they'll disappear, type thing. I sort of have just decided it's not something I'm that interested in trying to achieve anymore, so I probably won't worry about it. I do it on the occasional bit where, like if you're trying to do a water droplet, you need to cover up a bit of the line to make it look looks sort of shiny, I suppose, and so I do it for that, but I wouldn't do it for the whole page. It's just too time consuming, and I'm not that, you know, worried about a really accurate photo quality, photorealistic picture, you know, so it doesn't really matter, but it does lift the art, it does make it look very different. It is good to try it, and it gives me even more of an admiration of people who do it, to be honest. I'm just going to make these a bit darker, and then we'll do some final touches. I'm going to get my indigo out again. Actually, I'm looking at some of these are a little bit too pale on the edges. This one I can see actual white. I'm just going to, this is the ultramarine. Just putting a little bit on the edges of some of these where they actually look white rather than sort of faded light blue. Just a little, there we go. And now I'm going to get the indigo, as I said. I'm just going to go around the edge a little bit. I know I tried to make the pencil darker anyway, but I just want a slightly more defined edge. Now I worked out this would probably be sort of 6 or 7 videos, just short ones for the mornings, and then after this one I will probably go back to the Worlds of Wonder underwater ribbon page and finish off that one. That's a fun one to do. I don't know why I didn't, I just thought you might want to rest from it really, which is why I haven't done it next. I didn't need a rest from it, I rather enjoyed it, but sometimes I think it's good to have a little bit of a break and then get back to it later. Make it very hard for you to see. We'll just go around, finish going around that edge. I'm trying to be neat, but I'm not succeeding very well. There we go. Right. So there is our first flower. I'm just going to come out so you can see it in the context of the page. It stands out quite a bit at the moment, obviously being the only coloured item, but there it is. I don't know how logically I'm going to work through the page, whether I'm going to do this one next and then this one, or whether I'm going to go down here or here. I haven't decided yet. I'm just going to do what takes my fancy. And hopefully you'll join me on my colouring journey. But thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.